Hello everybody and welcome to our commentary of Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva.
Pedro, but this is not a game.
4K! I don't really care.
You were saying, Taylor, sorry?
4K.
But Pedro, this is clearly not a game. How could this be?
Well, you see everybody, in between Professor Layton and Last Specter and Miracle Mask, considering how...
Majora's Mask. Sorry, go
You
ahead.
did the thing I usually do. And
Well, I love both games, so... Anyway...
Between those?
I'm sorry, what?
Between those games,
Yeah, between Last Spectre and Miracle Mask, since Miracle Mask took an extra year of development and planned because Hino really wanted it to be a launch game for the 3DS in Japan specifically, they decided to hold people over with a movie because Hino said in the behind the scenes stuff that of this movie that people have always wanted to tell us that we should make a movie of this, so he figured, yeah, sure, why not, let's try it. However, here's the primary major difference between this one and all other video game movies. This movie was made by the exact same people that make the games. PA Works is doing the animation, like they do the animated cutscenes in the games. Hino co-wrote the script. The director is the guy who directed the animated cutscenes from the games. So basically, what you're seeing here is
Assassin's Creed movie.
Well,
not just that. Not just that. Let's just say that at least in this case, the people actually were knowing what we were doing. So
not just that, but
Yeah.
Jova, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure did the actual game developers, directors and writers work on
as
the movie?
consultant, basically.
Yeah, but they weren't directly making it.
Yeah. It was remember it was Michael Assbender doing the
They were involved in the sense that they're going to incorporate stuff from the movie into later.
But
I think a better comparison is the Ratchet and Clank film, because T.J. Fixman was a writer for the movie at some point before, shit happened.
Yeah,
We'll get to that movie later down the line.
Exactly.
You're here for a good video game.
For now, good stuff. So basically, we're watching an actual YouTube video. For some reason, he's managed to get in YouTube on 4K, like Jova said. So we'll actually leave you a link to the description if you want to see it there.
All right, everybody, start right at 0 on the YouTube copy or Blu-ray copy or DVD copy, whatever you're using. 3, 2, 1, click.
This is my first movie.
Professor,
this is regarded, of course, by a lot of fans as like pretty much a masterclass on how to translate a video game into a movie, because they did a great job in translating all of there you go. And here's the first great quality of this movie.
Team Layton.
As Animat said in his review of this movie, this movie is incredibly welcoming to newcomers. In fact, I used this movie to introduce the Layton series to both Jova and Shiroi, so that's another proof of that.
This is how the movie starts, them bragging about their game sales.
Not just that, Joe, but not just that. Dwebs, but they're taking advantage of this to explain. They're not even summing up the game. They're literally explaining basically what Professor Layton is, so that to catch people up to it, so you can get a basic sense of what exactly this is. There you go.
I love how the earlier subtitles to this were literally talking about the game series' achievements. Like, it sold this amount of copies, while Luke's giving us an introduction. It's like, hey, here's your commercial for the game series. Now enjoy the movie. What do you mean we were supposed to put the commercial before the movie?
You can. While it is true, Jova, I also see it as a way to literally say, "Oh, this is adapted from a video game series," and so if you like the movie,
I reckon most people would have known that, though.
Well, if you let me finish, Dwibs, my guess is the basic message that Hino wants to put with that is that, okay, if you enjoy the movie, be sure to consider getting the games.
Buy our games.
That's how merchandising works, Dweebs.
I don't even really have that much of a problem with it. I just laugh at the fact that it's essentially a trailer inserted into the very movie itself.
What I also love about this solution he creates to create this, to put the big band working, is that this kind of solution of pieces moving each other. This is exactly how a lot of Layton puzzles work. So
Yes,
also,
Layton.
Dweebs, you didn't tell me that Big Bang was like that on the inside.
Well, it makes sense considering how Big Ben's been shut down recently to have some work
The
done
Great
on
Mouse
it.
Detective lied to me.
the first thing you'll immediately notice is that PA Works is once again at the top of their game with this movie. The animation is freaking great. And guess what?
Also the music, yeah.
Tomohito Nishihura composes the score for us, and was his first time working with a full orchestra. And guess what? Christopher Miller and Maria Darling reprised their roles, as well as the actor who plays Inspector Grosky in the prequels. The others are all replacements.
Wait. Hold on. Doesn't Grosky actually have a different voice actor in this movie than the game?
Basically,
okay.
Other than Christopher Robin Miller coming back for Layton and Maria Darling coming back for Luke, everyone else sounds different. Even
well, I can at least tell. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, even Don Polio.
As a different voice actor.
My guess is they didn't know that Christopher Miller was also the voice actor of Don Paulo. But anyway, I can tell that. Well, in that case, I can tell that the guy who plays Grosky in this one does a fantastic job impersonating the game actor, because he sounds pretty much the same to me, honestly.
Sorry, guys. Could you give me a time?
Go to 4 minutes.
So yeah,
3:46.
What was that?
3:46.
3:46.
I almost did it.
And click. Anyway.
Also, Jova, sorry. What was that skeleton that was near Professor? Professor, what kind of dinosaur was it, Jova?
You mean the thing that he called a Chronosaurus, but clearly was not a Chronosaurus?
Well, regardless of that, though.
Yeah. It's an Easter
Turns out Professor may not be the best archaeologist we think him to be.
Well, paleontology is probably a different thing. Also, that cat was weirdly animated.
Basically, this one thing this franchise has told me is that Professor Layton has a severe caffeine addiction.
That cold.
Are you sure you're not talking about Hino, Dwibs? But anyway...
No,
tea has a lot of caffeine in it, actually, depending on which one you drink.
That would imply he don't drinks at all, considering how busy he is.
Well, regardless of that, though. Yeah, and Luke was practicing. But yeah, right from the get-go, that opening narration of Luke perfectly puts newcomers up to speed. Now alright, so this is basically a Sherlock Holmes British type of detective story. Okay, fine.
So this story, I guess, it's a flashback that is happening. Well, it's set. The story itself is set between Last Specter, Miracle Mask.
But what we're watching right now is
this intro is actually happening, I guess, between.
He says it right here in the tail. Hold on. There you go. Luke just said it's been 3 years since that case. Basically, that opening thing was just taking place somewhere in the original, and they start flashing back to it, that's where it starts.
So I guess it's between Curious Village and Pandora's Box. That beginning
sequence. It might be between. Actually, I think it might be after Pandora's Box, and between that and.
Look at that! The directory of the Modern Express.
Considering their use of vinyls, it's hard to tell if this takes place in the 60s or in present day.
Well,
it's because it looks fancy. It
has been made clear that the technology is a bit all over the place.
See, here's the thing, Dwibs.
It's like series of unfortunate events in that regard.
Here's the thing, Dwibs. As the crossover is shown, clearly this is during modern day. It's just that in this universe, Britain's a bit behind America and Japan.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people still like to use vinyl anyway, so... Alright, so here's an interesting...
Yeah, they've kind of gotten more popular in the past few years.
So anyway, here's what's interesting. Tomohito Nishihiro takes full advantage of the budget he has in this movie, and he brought forth Shira. Would you mind talking about the Japanese actress for this character here?
Oh, I can't actually remember her name. Shit.
Okay, well, regardless of that, basically...
I'll check.
She's someone you can look up on the internet and find her name.
Okay, well, regardless, the point... while Shiroi searches for the name, she's a famous singer in Japan. Famous as in... according to Shiroi, apparently she's underrated, but I don't know the exact details.
She wouldn't know because Japan doesn't like to share a lot of their stuff with us.
She does Janice, that's the woman singing. In the Japanese version, and her singing is kept in the English dub. Oh, hold on, here we go. There you go, Jova. The perfect instrument.
Jesus.
So it's essentially a glorified one-man band that you can play like a piano. Although, to be fair, my dad's keyboard can do that.
This is important.
Help me, Layton. You're my only hope.
Yeah. Hey, very good. He don't actually understand now how London actually is.
There you go, Dwebs.
Gray.
There you go, Dwebs. Proper portrayal of London. Happy?
Hello.
Sorry, what was that?
Proper portrayal of London. It was grey and raining.
Yeah. Well, then again, they kind of. Although I love the contrast of how the people are colourful, but the city isn't. It is accurate.
So yeah, basically Janice here has been visited by a little girl who claims to be the reincarnation of her dead friend. So she
apparently now is the gift of apparently now is the gift of eternal life. So what? Did you dip into that mystical pool that can have any cure from Last Specter?
Yep.
So yeah, that's our that's our mystery. Oh yeah, so yeah, like Teo just said, yeah, this is taking place in the prequel trilogy, so we have Hemi here, yeah. And of course, being Amy, of course, she drives.
She wants to drive like Casey in a Studio Ghibli movie.
Janice is voiced by Nana Mizuki.
There you go,
Okay,
Shira. Do you have any kind of information about Nana Mizuki? Any kind of trivia?
Well, singer and VA.
You told me once that she's apparently an underrated singer in Japan.
Yes, that's an unfortunate thing.
Which is a shame because she's a fantastic singer from what I can see in this movie.
Emmy, question: when did you get your vocal surgery?
Oh yeah, Emmy in this movie is voiced by Emma Tate. Dwebs, if you don't mind.
Emma Tate's well, she does a lot of animation voicing around here in the UK.
Very good.
Well, it's actually that Emma Tate is also Janice in this too in England.
Basically, her previous roles include previous/future roles include voicing Perfect Peter in Horrid Henry. She also did some voice work for Bob the Builder, The Magic Key, the remake of Captain Scarlet, Angelina Ballerina, and other stuff.
My favorite puzzle theme, yay!
Yeah,
Emma Tate is fine, but she's no anime.
Yeah,
not just that. If I have to be honest, I think Emmy is one of the low points actually of the movie because she's not that much utilized, and she's one of the characters who's actually not introduced to newcomers. She just shows up like this.
True, yeah, that is a bit weird.
She's kind of like, "Hello, I'm in the movie."
Well, she's not utilized, but as we learn, not in this movie, there's a reason for that.
I understand the thought process. She's not that much in the movie, thus so it would be kind of a waste to actually,
It's for the sake of continuity, Teo. It would be a bit miffy for fans to wait. Where is Emmy during all of this? So, anyway, the point is,
Emmy had to go. Emmy went on holiday to Australia.
And he had to temporarily return to her planet. Anyway, that's the reason why Layton had to.
No, Tio, I got it. Emmy had to go to a peace conference.
You were saying, Shirley?
Oh, I know the reason why Emmy's not there, but I'm gonna save that until we get to Ezran Legacy.
Anyway, go ahead, Shirley.
Fortunately, it looks like Nana Mizuki has started to gain more popularity over the past few years, but it's slow. Gradual, but slow.
Alright, this is important. So what's the legend about, Professor?
Yes, Professor, what's the totally not magical MacGuffin we're going after this time?
Magic.
But of course.
Yeah, magical magic. Like the attack from Lola.
Time, please.
You guys say it.
Go ahead to 11:45.
And then they decided, fuck the Queen. We're going to pull a Russia and massacre the whole royal family.
Alright, 11:45.
Goody. Just wait.
See, I do know my history.
Count you in.
I learned that our horrible histories, funnily enough.
Lovely. All right, Shirai. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click.
Wait. The character's dead already? Christ.
Well, that's what happened.
She died on screen.
Your favorite, Libs.
Also, yeah, we're describing supposedly the gift of eternal life.
So yeah, they came up. The elixir was discovered shortly after her death. So basically, that's the tragedy of the people of Ambrosia. Just when they found the secret to immortality, but they couldn't find it in time to save their queen.
Typical for we're pretty much we're pretty much the Azran, just not name dropped for the sake of keeping the mystery up.
Funny you
Also,
should
Wolf.
mention the Azran. But more on that later. Also, again, guys, if only you knew about the pool from Last Specter. There's seriously a pool that was able to keep a dinosaur alive. There's your water.
That was a manatee, Joe.
Well, actually, Tio, it's confirmed that quote-unquote manatee was from the prehistoric times.
Okay, I get it now. He clearly doesn't know paleontology.
And remember also how that water was able to cure an incurable disease. That's the
Yeah.
eternal elixir right there.
Anyway, 10 out of 10. There you go. Best performance ever.
Luke is moved by Janet's performance.
Well, everyone else in the audience had the same reaction I did.
Jesus,
musical.
these people are so funny at parties. God damn it.
They were all dragged here by their. I got it. They were all dragged here by their husband
I
slash
get
wife.
it. The
But their
conference,
husband-
Let's just say-
conference at E3.
Let's just say the people in here have a different goal in mind than watching
No,
that.
guys, I got it. They were dragged here by their husband slash wives, but their husband slash wife
hello.
pulled a fast one on them and didn't show up.
Oi, Professor, I gotta say, this latest Microsoft E3 is taking a weird turn.
Luke, when was the last time you saw Microsoft do a pantomime performance?
I think
There you
that's the
go.
same
This
year
is
that
what
EA gassed all theirs.
So this is what most of the audience was actually waiting for.
The rest of you will fucking die.
Yes.
Actually,
I've seen this
Nobody
movie.
ever tells us
Don't
anything.
worry, Paige. I've seen this movie 3 times.
well, regardless. Oh, by the way, speaking of, just to go back to what I was saying earlier, too, Emma Tate was also in Lautrec, so that's kind of interesting.
Who voiced
I
Milady?
think so, yeah.
Let me check.
Well, what
No,
did
no,
you
no,
think?
You must have not read the small print.
And then one of
Yeah.
them's like, "Oh, I was dying anyway, so."
It's always that small writing at the end. Also, those
Also,
rings.
that's actually the mindset of one of the people in this room.
Yeah, I know. It's like I've seen this
There we
movie.
go.
One of the great things about Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva is the fact that it perfectly translates the game's formula into a movie format, in the sense that it basically has it follows the exact same beats that we all know from the games. Like
Yeah.
it starts with a miss. It's basically a Professor Layton game translated into movie format, with as little changes as possible.
Jeez, leaving so soon, people. Come on, the
And
show's only
die.
just
There you go.
No, not for those.
Dead.
Well, shit.
Okay.
Huh.
But it's okay, guys, because our favorite inspector is on the job.
Oh, there you go.
Hi, Grosky.
Okay, if it's not the same actor, then I have to commend this guy, because he does a brilliant impression, if you ask me.
I can definitely tell it's different, but it's a fine enough voice. It's definitely higher than this normal one.
Grosky, several people just plummeted to their doom.
Can you, stroke your ego later on?
I've forgotten. Didn't you already see Luke?
No, remember, Dwebs.
no.
This is after Last Specter. Remember, Dwebs, this is after Last Specter, remember?
Wrong.
This is the first case that Luke is working together with the professor, remember?
Professor, I think we've been invaded by DeviantArt.
Yeah, oh boy.
Remember, Dwebs.
Grosky.
Do not ruin this, please.
Remember, Dwebs, this is actually in canon with the
Oh,
games. This is even
wow,
mentioned in Miracle
gee.
Mask and everything.
That musical motif sounds familiar.
Yep. That was a little foreshadowing for the fans who played Last Specter.
Basically, anyone who's played Last Specter should have a good ideas behind this, especially considering the mooks. But I'll admit, when it was my first time seeing this movie, I had not seen that, so Yeah, for those who are new here, let's just say we're gonna see a familiar face.
That's another great thing, is that the movie is incredibly familiar, newbie friendly, but it also rewards longtime fans with a lot of details that non-fans will not notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So
Joe.
plot twist, the
Yes, Joe
theater
was phone.
was-
I agree.
Yes, the plot twist, the theater was actually a ship.
Yes, just be thankful there's no icebergs on here, otherwise we'd be in a lot of trouble.
I don't know, Dwibs. Call of Duty seems to be going there, and yes, they're putting zombies in Titanic with Call of Duty.
So yeah, now they're stuck on the ship, the Crown Patone.
Also, Jova, there were scenes a couple of years, but that's a topic for another day.
Huh.
Yes.
I did not know, but we'll talk about that later.
Sir, we could just swim back.
Actually, that's exactly what he's gonna say. Actually,
that?
just listen here. There you go.
I'm not entirely sure.
Uh-oh.
Sharks.
Sharks.
Sharks with clown noses.
And don't worry, Teo. They're not sharks trying to do some convoluted scheme to destroy the Titanic.
Nor
I'm
are they.
sorry.
Are we going to get a shark tornado in this film?
No.
Sharknado, Dwibs, that's the term.
Now's not the time for singing.
Oh, hey,
Singing calm
Groski.
people down, Dwibs.
Yes. Nishihura is taking advantage of his newfound big budget.
Well, screw his budget. It's not the time for it.
Huh. I love how all Groski has to say is just a meh after outswimming a bunch
Yeah.
of killer sharks.
Everything.
He's just that awesome.
Like I've said before, everything involving Groski in this series is freaking gold. Like,
Uh-oh. Ominous singing. It must mean we're being attacked by a mermaid!
very good. So yeah, the mysterious girl who claims to be a reincarnation is doing ominous singing, as the subtitles put it.
She needs to be sectioned. Thrown in a ward or something.
A small child is singing, and she also has powers,
This
apparently.
is important, actually. This scene.
Stay
She's
far away
creepy.
from
There
her.
you go.
My lovely organ. Soon I will fix you.
Foreshadowing.
Oh. Okay, now we just have to get this guy into an organ battle with Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
And yeah, as it's plainly obvious just from looking at the characters, Takusa Nagano is once again the character designer.
You want to go home, yet you push the kindly officer off his ship into his doom.
Well, actually, now she does. There we go.
Why'd she shove him?
Because she wants to go home, Dwibs.
Because she wants to go home, Dwibs.
Why did she
How's that
shove
gonna get her home?
She's
Oh, and, well, Inspector Grosky is dead.
That's okay. Dwibs, nothing can kill Inspector Grosky, see?
Yes.
He's really acrobatic for a guy of his size.
Well, that's what makes him a great officer. Why do you think Anna fell for
You'd
him?
think all this hair would slow him down in the water.
Shiro, nothing can slow down Inspector Grosky.
Well, he agrees with you, Dwibs.
Anyway, I'm past 2102.
Christ, you guys have so much trouble watching this. Alright, just hold on.
I think I was ahead of you guys.
Click. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Professor, should we doubt or should we trust?
Alright, so...
Lie.
Okay.
Sounds like a plot out of a video game.
This is starting to sound like a bad comic book plot.
Of course, the duty of a true gentleman is to take stuff like this chillax and okay.
And help a lady in
Me,
need.
internally, he's screaming.
Yes.
Well, we all know that from the backstory of the games that Layton, there's a reason behind Layton's the way he is right now. But anyway, those who don't know, play the games. Oh, here we go. Alright, everybody. Another interesting thing is that Hino and his team managed to incorporate the puzzles in the movie. in some way.
Just in a more subdued way. Like in the games, you couldn't do any 5 steps without having a puzzle. But here, in order to make it more, I guess, realistic, in a sense, for the sake of the pacing of the movie, the puzzles are just few and actually more railroaded. Not in the sense of solution, but how they're presented to the characters.
Yep.
Instead of a character saying, "Oh, I have this puzzle here." Like, it makes sense for the sake of having a movie like this.
True.
Anyway,
Puzzle number, agent number 001.
how many Picards we're getting?
None.
Look for the oldest thing you can see and get her by it.
Hey, Pedro, I found you. Sorry.
Okay, here's hint 1. Look up.
But Teo,
Well,
you
that was
cannot.
uncalled for.
But Teo, you cannot see me right now. We're in a Discord chat.
The sad truth, yeah. Also, I'm not the one to talk.
Sorry,
There's
Teo.
the
That means
thing.
that you lose 10 Picarats.
There's the puzzle. There's the puzzle thing from Lost
Yep.
Future.
And it actually makes sense because when the song ends, the time is up. So
Very
here
good.
It actually makes sense.
Very well spotted, Wiz, by the way. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, the puzzles work in the sense that they're simple, but the movie does give the audience a couple seconds that they can try to think about it for themselves for a bit. So the movie does do a good job in, at the very least, making sure the puzzles are not just, a necessary plot point. They actually do invite the audience to also participate in it.
Professor?
I'm deep
Luke
in
had
thought,
a-
Luke.
Oh,
I'm
no,
thinking,
Professor, you
that
look a bit-
thinking involves spinning.
All right, the professor figured it out.
Yeah, like I said, yeah. But actually, I'm not sure if what I just said should be the super hint or just regular hint 1.
Super hint.
He's actually Luke. Well, he's about to say an hint actually.
What colour is my underwear?
True.
I actually got this one the first time I was watching with Pedro.
I think I didn't.
What about you, Shiro?
I remember you specifically saying, "Oh, fuck off!" when
Yeah, I
you...
remember that too.
Oops.
I don't remember how.
There you go.
I remember that,
Obvious-
honestly.
There you go. Obviously, the oldest thing we can see is the sky with its billions of stars.
That's my issue with the Layton puzzles. You
And
have to
now-
think outside the box, and I think too much. So.
That's also the thing, Sherry. Sometimes you don't have to think outside the box.
That's the whole purpose, is that it tricks you into thinking, oh, it's always about thinking outside the box, not necessarily.
Yeah. The others can fuck off.
To the dits.
The others are going to die.
If you got it wrong, you're fucked.
Jesus.
There we go.
I'm sure the children in
could've-
the audience are enjoying this.
Here's a little hint. Look for gaps in the floor. If there are there, you're wrong.
All right, puzzle 002.
Oh yeah, let's have a listen.
Or just cling on to the nearest ledge.
Huh. The largest crown.
Largest crown indeed.
Largest crown. Usually the biggest things that indicate stuff on or what the ship is are usually on the front.
And what puzzle theme is this instead?
This is from Last Specter.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sure those will appreciate, since that's his favorite
Yeah,
Layton OST.
Yeah, Last Specter's my favorite. I do kind of wish that eventually there's like a Layton HD compilation where I think that what would benefit the most from it are the DS
The
games,
audio, yeah.
where the audio be uncompressed.
Well, considering Layton's Mystery Journey is making it to the Switch, I see no reason why eventually an HD collection for the Switch can
Yeah.
happen.
Plot twist, I guess a PS Vita release.
Implying that the
I doubt
Vita's
it.
even
I
that
doubt it.
alive outside of Japan.
Jova, implying the Vita was ever alive to begin with.
But Teo, the Vita means
That's-
life, because that's the
Hold on.
keyword for
Luke
Vita.
has an
Yeah,
idea.
we're getting to this. This one, I think I actually got it the first time. I don't remember. Keep in mind, I don't remember.
Exactly,
I got
Luke.
this.
The ship we're on is the Crown Patone, of course.
Yeah, and crowns are generally the oldest thing.
Yep, I got this one the first time as well. Since, I mean, they kind of did show us what the ship looks like already.
Yeah, they
and
did.
it was very conspicuously shaped. Now, only one question, how to view it.
Just
think
follow
you
the
get-
professor, don't worry.
This was actually part of one of the first initiatives, because Hino said that when we came to when we got to the late 2000s, Hino started talking about how he wanted his company to expand a bit more into other forms of media that's not video games, which is why Inazuma 11 was the first ever cross-media franchise that had an anime and manga and all that stuff. This movie was also part
I
of...
wouldn't call... You mean the first ever Level 5 franchise cross-media?
That's what I meant. The first level
Of the
5
company,
cross-media.
yeah.
I meant for the company, not in general. This movie also serves as part of that. Yokai Watch will follow suit. Snack World is also going on now, and Layton is now has its own anime as well. So this was one of the big differences with Level 5 is that they don't they make their own film/anime adaptations of their games. They don't get they obviously they hire animation studios to do the animation, but the actual creative part of it is done internally.
Looks like someone actually got it. Get it? I'm the sailor archetype. Yar.
Just make him Captain Birdseye while you're at it. For a second there, I thought you said Chris O'Donnell.
All right, this particular scene that we're gonna get now is important in a moment.
Jarvis. Cute.
Jarvis.
So apparently this little girl is Mr. Whistler's adopted daughter.
Granddaughter.
Daughter, actually, he says daughter. But
Granddaughter.
regardless, though, apparently he called her Merlina as an honor to his dead daughter, aka Janice's friend. But we'll see.
In just a few years, she'll be able to summon a blue hedgehog.
Oh, I get that reference.
Oh, well, it's Melina, too, not Merlina.
Alright, then she will develop Tarkatan fangs.
That one I definitely get.
Oh, here we go, listen.
The professor was not a part of the program. He must be removed from it. Take
Please.
out the game.
Yeah, he must be deleted.
Delete this.
Yeah, there's actually a meme in wrestling where they go delete, 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 delete.
So yeah, why would Melina care if the professor wins the game or not? We'll see.
Because she knows the professor just solves everything in front of him.
Come on, Luke.
On the ship.
Yeah, she has a point. Oh, okay.
Poor Luke.
But look, Petagini. Oh, yeah. Basically, we're going to take advantage of this particular scene to introduce to all the other characters that come on these boats as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the one cool thing that the movie will also take some time to develop the side characters a bit. Not much, obviously, because they're side characters, but it's gonna do just the basic stuff so that we have a basic sense of who they are.
And why they're here.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
She's also got quite the story to tell her parents after this.
Yeah.
I went on a ship and I went on this theatre, but it turned out it was a ship and we had to solve puzzles.
So yeah, this guy,
Oh.
the guy in the beard.
Wrongly die.
So yeah, the guy in the beard already said earlier that he has only 6 months to live, which is why he doesn't care about risking his life to get eternal life.
Oh, excuse me again. The dogs are going mental.
And this
So you're one of those usual vain rich gals.
the other guy right next. Oh, and hi, Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Subtle.
Could be worse. It could be Jessica Fletcher, so like a shit ton of people will be dead already at this point.
True.
Well, it's Britain and mystery solving, so I guess we gotta have an Agatha Christie reference, I guess.
Archetype, yeah.
I know. I just got here off of the sweepstakes.
So there you go.
World Fleet Corporation.
And this guy's a former sports player.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Lovely. Also, Imitate was also in the Jungle Book TV series.
Huh.
It was, let's see, it was an Indian 3D CGI animated television series.
Ew.
That's quite the thing to say out loud in front of all these people, isn't it?
Yeah, not be expected to be taken to the nut house, at least in the Layton universe.
We're in the middle of the ocean. There's nowhere for a place like that to be.
Well, there is restraining. Huh, so it's like with Mozart when he got confronted by a mysterious stranger asking him to write a certain opera.
Yeah, the Requiem.
Hmm.
Wow!
Luke, please, come on.
You could have pointed that out from your seat, Luke.
I thought I should do it a bit more
You got
theatrically.
overexcited.
It's the crown jewel of the Navy, gents.
Yep.
Literally.
So yeah, these two, the people in these two boats get to live, whereas the rest of the boat is gonna explode. I bet you're not kidding there.
Wee!
A lot of
Disney
lives
World,
were
huh?
lost throughout
Disney
In the
World's
in
got
the-
nothing on this.
In the meantime, Grosky's still fighting the sharks.
Because why not?
And yeah,
Climbing up a
belly
flat
flopping
steel
up the side of a
surface.
boat.
Yeah, I just can.
Then again, I guess to be fair, adrenaline does make some people do some incredible feats.
This is just too much, though.
It's a cartoon. Just roll with it.
Yeah.
About that.
Well, abandoned ship, I guess.
But he just got up.
Near, far, wherever you are. Michael Bay
I'm
edition.
not sure if it fits the show.
It's Titanic, Michael Bay edition. Oh no, and now he's sinking down like Jack.
Fortunately, we're not in Arctic waters.
So, Tio, calling it or not, do you think Call of Duty Black Ops is also going to do an explosion with the Titanic too?
Sure, why not?
This is yet another,
Mm-hmm.
much like with the games.
Well,
Yeah, there you go. Apparently, there's these two submarines that come out of the ship. Huh.
that's conspicuous.
We'll get back to this.
Wee.
In the meantime, Emmy's still in London trying to get us some information about the missing people, and that.
This theme is from Pandora's Box.
Yep, very good too. Which reminds me, keep a lookout for another reference. This time visual. Any moment now.
Any minute now.
Oh, hi, Claudia. What are you doing here? Why aren't you in Set Mystère?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, you see, I wanted to step out for a bit.
So yeah, apparently there's that couple's little girl was one of the disappearing
Oh,
people.
they even found blankets. So cute.
But yeah, that couple apparently has a missing little girl. So
I wonder.
Oh, looky, an island.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Pokemon.
Hey, look at that,
Pandora's box.
Dr. Shredder.
Which had Pandora's box where.
Oh,
and there's
Emmy.
the skeleton.
Emmy, where have you been for the last 20 minutes?
Well, remember, Dwebs,
Finding the reason.
her role was to stay in London to search into the missing people. And also to figure out other stuff about the whole eternal life shit. And then eventually
I think I heard
reunite with the
person
professor.
voices.
I'm pretty sure most of these are like British actors and stuff like that.
Some are American, just doing damn good British accents.
Which reminds me, does the American version actually has Minella as Luke?
No.
Yeah, this is probably not a good time to mention. This never got released in theaters in America.
No,
well, not even DVD.
no. Well, the DVD,
DVD, yeah.
it did get released on DVD, yes, but no, there's only one English dub of this movie, Theo. There's no other.
Yeah. See, unlike the Ace Attorney movie, this only got released in Japan and Britain.
Speaking of Lennon and Allison, there you go. Turns out the people who supposedly died didn't actually. Oh, by the way, there's the fat lady from Pandora's Box.
Yeah.
A lot of fan service nods.
Luckily, you don't actually need to know them to watch the movie if you've never seen the series
No,
before.
this is a great example of how you do a movie that satisfies both the fan base and newcomers. But anyway, since you said about Lana Manella, going back to what I was saying, Emma Tate is a decent enough Emmy, but Lana Manella is way better if you ask me.
I mean, Lana Manella, she's a trained actress. Like, she does pretty good. And again, under her, Emmy is like the full package. I mean, Emmy's voice here is just kind of dull to me.
Mm-hmm. Nothing against Emma Tate, mind you. It's just that we don't think she was given the proper direction to behave as Emmy is supposed to behave. But anyway,
Sadly, Emma Tate, I guess she will forever be stuck in her sister Catherine's shadow.
so yeah, this guy is actually an historian, an amateur historian, and he look at that.
Amateur.
Well, regardless.
Wow. Poor guy. He's this old and yet he's
The
probably
symbol
gonna
of
be undone by
Ambrosia,
Layton.
aka the kingdom, the eternal kingdom. That is
What you mean, the Revenant Kingdom? Hilarious.
Sorry, Taylor, you're like 9 years earlier.
Hooray! One of the people who came on this trip actually got to what they wanted to get.
Well,
Well, actually,
makes sense.
remember the boats brought them here, so.
Well, remember though, the old guy in the archaeologist
Historian.
outfit did say that this is one of his lifelong dreams. So there you
also
go.
buffet.
Goal accomplished.
All right then. Let's take-
Yes, totally not poisoned.
Surprisingly, no. Oh, there you go. She agrees with you, Jova.
God damn it! Everything has to be a puzzle, even eating with you people.
You're wasting good wine.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Also, you need to share it.
Yeah. Well, with that guy, it makes sense. He has still 6 months to live anyway, so what has to lose?
He's gonna
Also,
get
is she-
wasted
is
and
she-
search for
Is
eternal
she,
life.
well, that woman there, was she kissing the wine glass?
So yeah, so much for that other possible puzzle we just ate. I like it how they said maybe it's a new puzzle. Nah, screw it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Food, I'm gonna eat it whether it's a puzzle or not.
I love this scene because of a specific comment from Janice at the end.
And instant shipping. Yeah, the fan base got onto that.
Not
Yeah.
well, whatever. Layton already has a sweetheart, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of complications with that sweetheart though.
True, but
Be careful, Luke. You may get shipped with that girl over there. You already get shipped with the girl from Last Specter who's supposed to just be your friend.
Ariana.
What about the one from Lost Future?
That's what
Oh
he
yeah,
did.
Claudia. A lot of people speculate that they actually did become an actual couple in the future, especially if Layton Brothers is anything to go by.
Well, maybe we might see something in the Layton anime since
Ariana.
the intro features older Luke.
Yeah. it
And
does.
let's not forget, Roy, that the new Layton game with Catriel also features Layton Brothers.
Regardless, though. Yeah, apparently this little girl is...
Can't see.
So as you can see, this little girl's personality seems to flip-flop. Sometimes she's nice and, calm. Other times she's trying to kill Inspector Grosky. So there
So
must be
she's
something... So there's something up here, clearly.
So she's like Henry from Good Son. She even disappears mysteriously sometimes.
But couldn't this be a very dangerous island, sir?
No.
Alright, everybody. Lunchtime is over. Back to the puzzles.
Pretty much.
Oh crap!
Now, if you excuse me, the wolves will eat what's left.
They're
Well, it's
probably
like technically the food was a puzzle.
the wolves are going to be able to smell the food right off of you.
Yep.
Not just that, maybe we could have used the food to distract them, I guess.
Humans are probably a bit more tasty than
So yeah,
savages.
Luke is gonna try to speak to them. Let's see.
For wolves, anyway.
Not
But-
working.
But it seems like they won't listen.
I think they're a little too
Pocket
hungry.
sand. Did Professor Layton just use a Hank Hill reference?
Oh snap!
Run!
What weirdly metal?
Run,
couch
Agatha Christie,
ears
run!
Those have.
Agatha Christie.
Well, look at her dress, and considering her character is a novel, a mystery novel writer, and yeah, that's clearly a Agatha Christie caricature. Because British.
Okay, so how's the professor going to get out of this situation?
We'll see.
That's exactly it. The dinner was, well, lunch actually. The lunch was actually not the puzzle. The puzzle is actually the wolves. So yeah, that's an evil fortress if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm at 45-23.
Uh-huh. I know. We'll use Agatha Christie to distract them.
No, Jova, no.
Poor Agatha.
What? It gets the puzzle solved.
Who's gonna write the next Poirot novel?
Wait,
Oh,
hold on,
yeah.
hold on. I'm pretty sure she'll be able to find them up.
And, click.
Click. Anyway, guys, I'm not talking about sacrificing her. She can fend them off. Besides, they've got a lot to chew through with all those clothes she's wearing.
So yeah,
Like unwrapping a present.
we have to use these
Exactly.
cages to get rid of the wolves. How exactly? But oh,
Grossi in this one is voiced by Stuart Organ, who's mostly known in the UK for playing a headmaster in Grange Hill.
So,
Very good.
yeah, the answer to this one is simple.
Trap yourself.
the wolves will not attack anyone who's not. There you go. See.
I actually got this one right my first time, too. Surprisingly, I was kind of on a ball with this. It was just
The professor is just
the
explains it.
fourth one.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, as long as it works.
Just as long as those wolves don't bite your ankles. Oh, wait, they're already distracted.
Bye.
Heave, heave.
Sorry, lady, we don't talk about what's
All
on.
you just had to say.
On second thought, maybe I spoke too soon.
Irony.
Unfortunately, she doesn't have he doesn't have the balance.
Was this
Oh, this one.
about,
This one.
Professor?
Yeah, I guess.
Professor, at what point does the true gentleman just say, "Fuck this shit, I'm out"?
That's not very polite.
When you want to refuse to be married or
Uh-oh.
something.
Oh.
Huh. That's a rather downward-looking marriage.
All right. Anyone who's played the games, especially the original trilogy, knows that Professor is also kind of
Crafty.
the anime equivalent of fucking MacGyver.
Kinda. I think he does stuff even MacGyver would call bull on.
So let's see what ways he can use to get rid of these wolves with all the tools in the shack.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's played, let's say for example, the climax
Good
of.
idea, Professor. We used a chainsaw to hack the wolves up.
So yeah, if you want, those who played Curious Village would remember how in the climax he also did something similar to this. So
Yeah, you need a
Not to
time
mention
shear.
also Last
Yes.
Specter.
Go
Got
to
time.
49.
well, he does it in various games, but yeah, Curious Village is usually the first example I mention.
Really? The first example I think of is Last Specter, where he builds a slingshot to
All right,
fight a
49.
giant mecha.
All right, we're almost there.
There we go, an helicopter.
Of
How did
course.
his hat not fly off?
Because he glued it to his head. He's that possessive about his hat.
It reminds me of how, in a very special scene for Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford actually stapled his hat to his head to stay on.
Sorry, Joe, that hat just will not come off. It's
Yes.
personal.
All right,
it will-
here we get
Oh,
ready.
it will come off
and,
eventually.
Well, not
click.
now though.
It's a very touchy subject, Jova. Leave it alone.
So how many Magatama locks is it hiding behind, I wonder?
Oh, this one.
What? I'm sorry, I could have sworn I heard you say, I'm done, instead of this was great fun. Because if you consider nearly being eaten alive just for the sake of puzzles, I think we have very different
Oh, listen here,
views on
listen
the
here.
world, lady. How good are you at lying?
Hold on,
I'm sure
but
that-
not to the pilot.
Every Layton fangirl's dream.
I've forgotten. There's Layton taking flying lessons.
No.
Well, so we're operating on Tintin logic. Just like Tintin, he can fly any vehicle, drive anything.
Or if he asks, so basically, too, if you're saying if Layton asks the pilot for help, he'll just get shot.
Yes.
Well, no.
Well, we left a bit of an impression on the courtyard.
All right. Anyone who's played the prequel trilogy knows who that guy is. But anyway, let's see what the next puzzle is.
And those who refuse will be shot.
All right.
Jesus.
Here's the fourth puzzle.
Oh, God. Okay, this puzzle I did not get on my first go because I cannot make heads or tails of this one.
Hmm.
G.
There you go. KGI.
KG Inafune.
We have to go into the king's door. So which of these four is the king's door?
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind the actual wording of the puzzle. You have to go in the king's door. Since there's four letters, obviously it's a word puzzle. There you go. Get it? King.
King.
In.
There you go. Sure.
Well, one thing you'll know, one thing that's also always about Professor is that he always he often will. This is part of his plan of sorts.
Master plan, indeed.
Sorry, guys. Can I have a time, please?
Go to 53.
You might want to consider lowering the quality.
I did. I'm actually on a different video right now.
Freeloaders!
Alright, we're almost there.
Puzzle you, freeloaders.
How
Jesus.
how rude! Like it's like a Lightning Returns NPC.
And then there were
Alright,
three.
Shiroi, and click. Yeah.
Well, sucks to be
And
you.
they got it wrong. Hey, Layton's cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come back for you.
Yeah.
You're just alone, Layton.
I mean, I'll come back for you.
I'm pretty sure he means we, as in general.
I know. Me and
You
Hal.
should be alive by the time I get back, right?
Hopefully. Maybe. Maybe not.
One thing that there's also a nice little detail that I'll mention up later when the villain makes his appearance right now. There he is right now.
Oops.
Not quite. He locks them down first.
Well, fuck, they're trapped.
Hmm.
There
Alright,
he is.
and here's
Oh
the
my
villain of the
God,
prequel trilogy,
it-
John Descolet, and with his glorious organ theme. But anyway,
But not with his cool Jeremy Irons-esque voice.
true. No, don't get me wrong. The actor doing Descolet in this movie is a perfectly fine Descolet, but he's not as
He's
good.
not as good as the game one. I mean, the game one sounds like Jeremy Irons to his very core. But yeah, this is Descolet, Layton's rival for the prequel trilogy.
One thing that I do like about the way he's using the movie is that keep in mind the movie that we're specifically they're going to give you just the minimum information for newcomers in the sense that those who paid attention to the opening scene of this movie where we introduced Don Paulo and we even have Luke say Don Paulo. Okay, I guess this is like a villain that they know from the games because they mentioned the games. Then when we get to this point, Descolet shows up and oh, it's you. And Janice goes, Luke, you know this man? Okay, and it's obviously it's not a obviously so this is one of those cases where so anyone watching newcomer can easily put one and one together and go, oh, okay, so I'm guessing this guy is also a reoccurring villain in the games. So that's the basic shit. So it's a good way of getting off just enough information so that the audience has a basic idea of things without stopping the movie to explain.
Also,
I'd like to mention that Grotsky is wet dead.
Pants.
Yes,
Guys,
he's naked right now, actually. And there goes the underpants.
He'll just have to wear the pants
The
without
landing would be
them.
very awkward.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm guessing this was Janice's room.
I wonder.
Well.
Okay, what do I do? Do I press the objection button?
A
now?
Song of the Sea. That's the actual name of the main theme of this movie.
But it's very incomplete.
It's missing some Irish.
Layton, I don't think this is what you should be focusing on at the moment.
Don't worry, Dwebs, he's aware.
Layton is rude to not talk to
She
you
was
in
about to
face.
push him over.
Yeah.
Dang it!
How adorable.
Dang it! My legs pushing over skills have failed me.
So that's what you should have done all along. Just play a piano.
Or get Blue Diamond to
Let's
sing.
just say Melina has a soft spot for that song for obvious reasons that will be made later. The power of Tomohito Nishihura compels you, Melina.
Yes.
So now we'll get some really important foreshadowing for the big plot twist.
So they're basically it's like Wally from Pokemon Gen 3.
Hold on.
He's sickly, so he goes to a place where there's fresh air.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
And then she was thrown into a mental asylum.
What, is she possessed by a puzzle demon?
Coming soon, the little live action made by Blumhouse Production.
Yes.
Alright, so they're going to try their best to come up with a plan to escape. Good job, Luke.
These henchmen are quite stupid.
One particular aspect, and it's also captured in this movie as well, is that despite being a helpless kid, because he's a kid, right? Luke when put in a situation like this, Luke will try his best to fight it off and not just acquiesce. So he does have a spine, so to say, and you're about to see it as well. Hold on. Well, he is a gentleman in training.
Gentleman knows how to fight his own battles.
It doesn't quite go as well as.
Well, at least he tried.
Yeah.
A true gentleman
But it's
does
okay.
not feel pain.
It's okay.
True gentleman flies.
It's okay, because Amy and Grusky are here. Time to kick some bad guy butt.
Literally.
The music seems to suggest so.
The music went techno there for a second.
For those who haven't played the games, Amy is quite the
Brawler,
quite the brawler. Yeah, there you go. And let's just say she doesn't fight fair, as you're about to see.
No, she doesn't.
She slammed that guy's face into a wall.
Ooh.
A concrete wall.
And
Yet she also got him going there.
She's the heel of Professor Layton.
Yeah, pretty much.
One great thing, and the anime that's going on right now with Kat also does the same thing, is that the movie does a great job in giving subtle cues as foreshadowing, like this one, for example. Janice, you know the professor. You're a former student. Shouldn't you know how that? Okay.
She kind of had a brain fart.
So yeah, it turns out Descole and Whistler were working together all
In
along.
cahoots, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, the winner of
that
the
line from Empire Strikes Back Dibs. I modified the terms. I changed the terms of our deal. Pray that you better don't do that again or something.
any longer.
Yeah.
Anymore. So yeah, Amelia is the winner of the Eternal Life contest. However, she has an extra. We're going to reveal her motivation for why she's here, even to begin with, as well.
That's right. There's an instrument here that can grant eternal life.
Totally not suspicious at all.
Totally not gonna
And
be
it's
fake.
operated like a DEFCON protocol.
Yes, congratulations, you won the challenge. Now go away.
Another flame that goes out.
Well, you're having it now, so get in there.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. The whole reason for she kind of was because she wanted to give it to her grandfather, who's near death's door. Dun dun dun. Layton to the rescue.
We're wearing helmets.
We're bikers, we're bikers, we're bikers.
Mr. Whistler.
Yes.
Oh,
That's his name.
I've heard that name
You
before.
know this throughout the entire movie.
No, I'm just saying I've heard that name before.
All right, and now time for the classic Sherlock Holmes moment where Layton exposes the evildoer in front of everybody. And the Professor Layton theme kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because usually in the games they have a specific theme for these moments, but in here they went with the main theme. Interesting, I guess, but it works still, so fine.
Although he doesn't really look like a scientist.
Well, Dwebs, look at this thing.
I may not look like a scientist. Does this look like an actual machine as opposed to an instrument to you?
It's like Squidward, you know. So does this look odd, sure, to you?
So there you go. The reason for the whole personality change in the girl is because the girl was also put in with. They tried inputting Melina's mind into this girl. Oh shit! I've been found out. So there you go. Apparently he's been trying for a long. So there you go. This particular flashback we're watching right now kind of implies that he's been trying this for a long time at this point with several test subjects.
Several people, yeah. Charming.
Yep.
It's like
So
transplanting an organ.
Yeah, only here it's with a soul.
More like a mind, but sure.
Mind, soul, the two kind of interchange. Actually, yeah, this would have to be a soul considering how it's her entire being.
Well, you are the reoccurring antagonist in the particular trilogy that we're going with right now.
I mean, all I had to do is just take a look at your henchman.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Melina will go into a boy's body now.
What?
Sure.
I
Then-
have several weird
then,
feelings about this.
Don't let anyone say that level 5 is not progressive.
He's very desperate at this point.
Oh, I get it. That's what's gonna happen. Luke will turn into the protagonist of Ni no Kuni 2. That's why everyone will say he looks like a girl.
I was studying the whole time, you idiots.
So yeah, someone stole the key, but who?
Hmm.
The
All right,
police.
time for the iconic moment where Layton does his finger point. It is you.
Emmy did it.
I wonder.
Dun dun dun.
Oh.
Besides,
You automate.
I could clearly see you holding the key in your hand, you idiots.
So there you go. After trying all these years, the only person who successfully got imprinted with Melina's mind was Janice. Dun, dun, dun. They're gonna explain.
Well, yeah, X, sorry, failed.
Except it actually did.
She's gonna say it now. There you go. There you go. Apparently, it has to be the person of the body has to be in agreement with this. Like both minds have to be in agreement so that it can work. Which is why it worked with Janice, since Janice was Melina's best friend.
Wow.
Here's the problem. Let's just say Vedesco was not exactly a Samaritan for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Whistler, come on, you're losing it. Calm down.
Melina, maybe you should have told your dad that you were in there so that he wouldn't go on this incredibly insane venture.
Well, she's about to explain. She really wants her father to let go of her.
Well, there you go. Yet another level 5 story centered around acceptance and moving on.
Yeah.
Again, I'm pretty
There
sure.
you go. She was there the whole time.
Of course.
Go ahead. Theo, you were saying.
Yeah, I'm pretty
And
sure.
there you go. That's why she.
That's
Why she does. That's why she didn't immediately understood what Layton wanted from her. It was actually not Janice. Oh, here we go. Listen here.
Also, I just noticed only now in this vision of the movie, Mr. Whistler actually has his mutton chop shaped like musical notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were saying? Go ahead and finish too, since this is an action part.
Basically, I'm pretty sure Hino wants to tell the audience something with these messages.
Well, Theo, I guess it's kind of like how Yoko Taro is obsessed with the evil of mankind.
Pretty much.
It's like how I pointed out at the opening for Ni no Kuni that Hino likes to set villages on fire.
Yes.
I guess every storyteller has his own preferable tropes.
Yeah.
Just like every story has to have its dashing villain with the cape and everything.
So yeah, like Theo said.
Questions a bit the hat of Desco.
So yeah, like Theo said
It's a very
earlier.
fluffy cape.
Like Theo said earlier, Descalay obviously wasn't doing this purely for noble reasons. He wants to find the ancient city of Ambrosia.
He's only ever in it for himself, really.
He's about to explain.
Yeah, of course.
Drink your Ovaltine.
So yeah, in order to wake up Ambrosia, the Song of the Sea song has to be performed by an Eternal Diva.
Roll
What about an
credits.
Eternal Sonata?
And we have Melina, who right now is basically, as Joe would put it, a soul. So she's kind of eternal right now, so she can be put from body to body. So she fits the bill.
So, yeah, magic in the Layton universe, that's insane. But a machine that can store the memories and souls of a dead girl and allow her to live on? No, that's real.
It's science, Jova.
It's science magic, Shirway, and I'm not going to let it go.
It's a compromise, Magitech.
They have no right to say that magic doesn't exist in this universe. But anyway, music time.
I'm sorry, but Mr. Nishihura wanted an organ, so you are going to allow me to perform on the organ.
Well, what do you know, Layton? It turns out you revealing who the culprit was actually helped my goals out here.
I was like, I thought he blew up the ship.
So yeah, much like in Lost Future, we're gonna have an action-packed climax where we topple down a giant contraption.
With a giant robot, of course.
Yeah, that seems to be a trend ever since Lost Future.
Hino's clearly a huge fan of 80s anime films.
Oh,
Because a lot of 80s anime films have stuff like this, a lot of steampunk elements and giant contraptions, or giant places, like giant castles or something like that.
Well, remember, Mazinger Z was the pioneer of the whole mecha genre. So.
Yeah.
Professor, a little help. I'd rather not be lunch meat for the wolves.
Anyway, for now, Deska will just try simply playing the song and everything.
Sing, Melina, sing! We're paying Nana Mizuki by the hour, so sing!
I know you may not know who she is yet because Japan doesn't seem to really advertise that much, but still, we're paying her.
There are
Wait.
times her mouth movements don't match how Nana Mizuki's singing, though.
Sadly, the first thing I think I noticed a lot with, especially in anime, lip syncing is one of the things that doesn't manage to, be get right all the time. Ow, poor doggo.
Yes, I just have a few
Abby
wolf
beats up
bites I'm
dogs.
gonna
She's
be
clearly
missing.
evil.
All right,
maybe-
we have to get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Yep. But we haven't defeated the villain. Why is the lair collapsing?
Because
Oh.
the villain got smart and is taking it down.
Okay.
Also, Emmy knocked those wolves out, and now they've fallen to their doom.
Oh well.
Wah.
So it turns out it doesn't work apparently.
Don't, you fools, you need to play the movie Song of the Sea.
A Song of the South.
No, Song of the Sea. We commented
Irish
on that
one.
movie. You know, the Irish one. The one that has...
Alright, let's go Kubrick on this shit. Back to square one.
Yeah.
Remember. Yeah. Remember, dude.
Hold on. The professor's looking at the symbol again.
You're not playing it right.
Actually, Dwibs, that's exactly it. Desclay is not playing it right, as Layton will point out later when he gets to
That's no
Obvious.
frustration.
Obviously, Desclay did not watch End of Days, so he doesn't know how to solve this one.
I didn't come this far to lose, no!
I came all this way. I put so much money into a theme ride that would put Disney to shame,
Jesus.
and this is what I get.
And guess what?
Now-
He controls the giant robot by playing music.
Oh, what a shock. Desclay is
Oh,
another
so-
giant
so it is-
robot.
So it is like that NES game where you use a piano to shoot ducks.
I guess you can say, Dwibs, he's orchestrating this entire contraption.
Go to the corner. Go to the puzzle corner while you're at it.
All right. Dun, dun, dun,
Where you have to
dun,
solve a
dun.
1,000-wolf pick-a-rat puzzle 3 times in a row. To
It's
get
like a
out.
multi-phase final boss.
And now it's turned into the Iron Giant.
Hey, I love the Iron
Yeah.
Giant, so by all means.
Remember, Layton, you are who you choose to be.
Now choose.
Now choose.
It's still my favorite Brad Bird film, so sure.
I haven't seen it.
You should.
Yeah. Jesus.
Okay.
Oh. It's time to wave goodbye.
So yeah, basically it's like, okay, if I can get it normally, fuck it, I'm just gonna dig the shit out of it until I found it.
Steampunk robots.
Hey, props for having an actual plan B, I guess.
Yeah.
It's always his plan B. He loves these.
Dwibs, this is actually tends to be one of the things a lot of people reviewing the movie bring up. So, and since you're the one who usually are very mindful of these particular things, what do you think of the melding between the hand-drawn animation and the CGI stuff in this movie?
Well, it's really, really hard to get right, and this Japan seems to be really behind when it comes to CGI, and this still looks a little bit ropey.
Yeah, that tail for one thing. Ropey indeed.
Yeah, it's not as bad as you'd expect though. Like, I think it gets
I'd
the
still
job done.
watch this over the new Berserk anime at least.
Oh, God.
So yeah, using our
Considering the budget they would have had, it's
using our awesome helicopter, we're going to. But basically, this is much like we used the Layton mobile to climb Clyde's fortress in Last Future. Yeah, there you go.
Well, crud.
Really, he's that strong he can throw someone off a cliff?
Oh shit.
What is it with you damsels somehow managing to roll just the right way near a cliff?
Well,
you like
to her credit, even though she's not she wasn't capable of stopping him, she did try at least.
Oh dang, Desco is pretty strong to send her flying that hard.
All right,
Again,
Professor.
now we're getting a bit techno on this.
Oh, don't worry.
right.
Don't worry. Well, this is actually one of my favorite tracks in the movie, called
Yeah,
Future
I love this
called Future British Gentleman. Basically, it's Luke's time to shine.
All right, Professor. It's time for all those years I spent mastering Sonic Unleashed to pay off.
We.
Oh, my name is Luke Triton.
Darn it, we're not gonna make it. Let's speed up.
Sonic! Boom! Ow. Suck on it!
Oh shit!
How's that for Tarzan, Phil Collins?
All right, go Luke, go!
He is filled with determination.
Slide, jump, hop, slide, dash, and boost!
Quick 10 events in a Layton game. Wow.
You know, I kind of do wish we'd gotten a part like this in one of the Layton games for Luke. Like, dang, this is awesome.
I don't know, Joe. It would have kind of been like, those pointless mini games in Blue Dragon. So
I mean, like, well, hey, Mystery Mask had minigames.
Miracle Mask.
Hey, you call them Majora's Mask. You can't.
works every
Majora's
time.
Mask, Mystery Mask, Miracle Mask, who cares anymore?
Oh shit!
That one game in the British desert. Also, that's
Well,
Mass Shock.
dang. Layton, you just got rear-ended there by a drill, no less.
Drill.
Okay, now time for my annual hanging exercises. 1, 2.
How is hanging gonna save you from being pierced in the butt by a drill?
A
Fort-
true gentleman always keeps his arms strong.
Fortunately managed to grab onto something.
Oh, Armstrong, I guess
Oh,
you
and now,
didn't
and now, ladies and gentlemen, it wouldn't be a Layton without a sword fight. So here we go.
By the way, what time are you guys at?
Go to 1:20:30.
I'm there.
Alright, almost there.
And I love this song called "The Last Battle."
Mm-hmm.
Calm down, Layton. You must know you can't be a master swordsman.
God, this is epic.
Alright, Lily.
And click.
Okay.
This is so fucking awesome. Like the music, the animation, the overall direction of it.
Okay, that may be the most awesome thing I ever do, unless I somehow come back from being dead.
But let's never do that again.
Please.
I'm sure Luke's parents are gonna love to hear about this.
Also, there you go, Pedro. Near, kind of being in tune to Near, the iron pipe is actually the strongest weapon.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, here you go.
I don't think Luke's parents actually know all the shit he gives.
All right, now Layton is going to
He
upstage
tells
Descalay
us.
with his own plan, as you're about to see.
You know, that's quite funny in hindsight.
Hold on.
What?
If you turn it upside down, you can see another other sets of notes. There you
Yeah,
go.
that's because he's like rolling because that was really stupid to not have come up with before.
The way it works is that someone has to play one side, the other has to play one side. The problem with Desco is that he was having Melina sing the exact same part of the tune as he was playing, and that's why it didn't work.
Oh, now that's just rubbing salt in the wound.
Yep.
There's meant to be singing.
Come on, we paid Nana Mizuki, so sing.
But now, of all times?
Sing, parrots!
At a time like this?
Hey, we established in the original trilogy that I'm a famous archaeologist who made famous discoveries, which means I need to make a famous discovery in this movie so that will add up. Come on.
If you insist. Meanwhile, I'll just be hanging onto this giant robot for life as usual.
Not to mention, the music is beautiful. So shut up and let me listen.
I guess it's a good time for me to get to writing my pen pal letter to Dad and Mom about this.
Oh God, is all that pollution from the Thames River suddenly coming over here now? What do you put in that stuff, man?
Well, apparently Azran stuff. Huh?
Yeah. In Miracle Mask, they actually mentioned the city of Ambrosia as one of the many Azran cities.
Ruins.
Or
Yeah.
ruins, whatever. The point is... Oh, and look at that! And that looks incredibly like a certain destroyed city in Nier Automata. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, ruined buildings are really, easy to make.
It's an entire city under Atlantis?
In
Pretty
your...
much. I mean, it's an analogy for that, Jova. So yeah.
Well,
Lost
In-
Technology, Secret of Eternal Life, Submerged City, yeah.
In
so
your
the Azran
face,
just tied into all of
Descole,
them.
I guess.
Or in your ears.
How does it feel, Descole?
How does it feel to have failed in your and be upstaged?
How about I
I'm gonna
tell
tell you
you?
how it
How about
feels.
I tell you that right as I leave you dying?
Yeah.
Layton,
Yes.
Ouch.
you broke our organ.
How is Ishiro supposed to play the final theme now?
I don't really care at this point.
I don't care what happens to Ambrosia.
Why should I?
Yeah.
And the robot and the robot destroys
kills
itself.
Wow, so just smacking into the organ causes all those explosions. Like, what? Did he like attach a stick of dynamite like in one of those Looney Tune cartoons?
For me,
Also,
sorry. Go ahead.
Also, Descoy is now apparently dead.
Nah.
Yeah, totally.
He fell to his doom Disney style.
There's no way he's gonna come back from that.
For me, Dwebs, it's I've seen better, yeah, but I've also seen worse. Honestly, this isn't too bad.
By the time it came out in the budget, it was on. It's fine. It's not even really bad.
Well, I can
I
see
think
the
it blends
difference.
in
It's
well
just a
with
thing where I don't mind too much. But and again, remember, my standards with CGI are way lower than Dweebs', so
Me too.
I think it looks less out of place when you get a close-up of it.
Shit.
Oh, good. The water will put out the fire.
I guess. Oh, well, maybe not. Is it like that episode of Batman where they use shark repellent and it explodes?
All right, so we've crossed practically every checkbox in the Layton checklist. There is one left to check, though: the emotional, heartwarming, or heartbreaking climax, depending on which game you mentioned.
Heartwarming climax. Someone died.
Well, heartbreaking is emotional.
Well, okay, let me put it like this: the
Well,
emotion,
Dibs, the ending to Pandora's Box was really sweet.
Here you go. The emotional.
Despite everything.
Well, regardless, we need to check the emotional ending checkbox in the checklist. So here we go.
Well, of course, it comes at the ending. So yeah, it turns out they hung out here on this island. Did the guy own the island, I wonder?
Yeah, apparently.
So he owned an island that was atop
And
of
in true Akihiro fashion, she died in a
Realness. Oh,
illness.
apparently she was a magical girl. That was her sphere.
kick.
No, that's just something she gave to.
I know. It's just a Madoka ref.
There you go.
Precisely.
But it's okay because Melina's back with us now. Surely this is in no way a message of you need to let go of that people, like Terry was saying earlier.
I mean, it's not like she already said that he has to let her go.
And I will admit that actor playing Mr. Whistler does a good job in performing this scene. There is, however, one major problem that I do have with the dialogue in this part. Then let's just say it's not the kind you'd think, Dwips. I'll mention it in a moment.
Well, yeah, because you didn't tell him. Idiot.
Well, Job, it's exactly because of this that she didn't tell him. She didn't want him to know that she was here, so he wouldn't have to suffer saying goodbye to her again.
Yeah, it only led to the suffering of all these other people.
Needs of the many, remember?
All right,
I'm not in the other games, so bye.
Wait for it.
In hindsight, I should have told you this.
All right, here we go. Listen here, and I'll talk about it.
I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Okay, let me explain.
Okay.
Basically, okay, I actually own this movie on Blu-ray, and I have seen the Japanese version with subtitles. In the original script by Hino, what he actually says is, no matter what happens to me, no matter what happens, wherever you go, I'll always remember you when I play the piano, which of course fits with that flashback we saw earlier. However, the guys at Viz Media, for some reason, thought that that perfectly fitting line was worth changing to a generic "You'll be in my heart" line, and
Nah.
Not just that, they just said it like a couple lines before about being in your heart. So redundancy.
Doesn't
They
really
forgot.
don't get me wrong, it doesn't ruin the scene, but I don't know. It's just
Well,
why
that's
would
the
you
point.
change
It
that?
kind of feels unnecessary.
Yeah. And Hino's original line is so much better, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, it's different, but even though whenever you play the piano thing, I've heard that one before too.
Nowhere near as much, though.
Well, it's just that the piano thing, Jova, fits a lot more better with the story, though.
Siroi. I have to show you quite a few movies you've been missing out
Also,
on.
could have been worse. Could have been like, but who are we eating ice cream with now?
Well, that's the other.
yeah.
That's the other extreme. But
Or
anyway,
rather, but think of all the hurt you'll be putting them through.
I do, however, really like that. Like in particular, that one scene in reaction where you have to move, you have to start a new life, and he literally says, "I don't want a new life." Like the mere thought of living without her, like it's inconceivable to him. And there you go, Melina finally departs from this world, and this time for reals.
Well, bye then.
Okay, thanks, bye.
It's the natural order of things.
I just realized I can now make a Steven Universe joke referencing to this.
Fatality.
It's the only primary issue I was having with that is that, again, the whole piano line fits perfectly with the story as it is. So I think it should have been kept, basically.
Don't worry. I'm sure she's still with us, in our hearts, in our pianos. She's still looking down on us alongside all those other
there is
people.
one thing, though. Despite everything, and this fact that he had, well, at the very least, adds somewhat of a human reason to do so. Yeah, Groski still has to arrest him because, well.
Well, it makes sense, sadly.
Makes sense indeed.
However, one last time.
For all time's sake.
Yeah, high five.
No, my lovely piano. Organ, I mean.
It can still play.
See, this is exactly why I think the piano line fits better, because, again, he remembers her when he plays the piano, so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess we can infer it, so, again, doesn't really bug me.
I'm surprised it's still that much intact.
Well, yeah, no, like, the only complaint I have with the translated English script is that hard line. Like, everything else to me is peachy, because I've seen the Japanese version, and everything else is pretty much on point. There's no real problem I have with the rest of the English script.
It was eternal death.
In true Azran's fashion, apparently. They were just that dickish.
Layton, you're just saying that because you can't believe the fact that there actually is a way to have eternal life now.
Pro tip, if there is an ancient civilization, if there was something like an ancient civilization, it's because there was a good reason they went extinct.
Basically, yeah.
Unless they're dinosaurs. Dinosaurs just got screwed over.
Yeah, that's sad.
The time, a bit of it sounds like a synthesizer.
Ah, yes, Luke. Melina is looking down on us alongside all those other brave souls like Mia Fey and Rose Quartz.
Well, remember, Dwebs, right now, the organ, this particular part of the song is simulating a destroyed organ, so this organ cannot sound as good as that organ right now is a bit destroyed, so it sounds a bit off exactly because of the fact that it's, well, broken.
Anyway, yes, Shiroi?
I said don't.
But yeah, like I was saying, though, I still hold Shiroi, though. Melina could have solved things better if she had just talked to her higher being and not led to all this
Jova,
happening.
please.
Anyway,
And now
we get to the,
pictures, just like in the Layton
doing the
games.
credits.
Again, we've literally ticked all the boxes in the Layton checklist. This is literally a Layton game in movie form.
This has an after credits thing too.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And there will be an after credits scene, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, Oliver will use the power, the spell of whatever. We'll invite Layton to join the Avengers.
Yeah. Obvious joke is obvious.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, go ahead, Pedro.
So yeah, that was Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva, regarded by a lot of people as the greatest translation from a video game into a movie, probably because it was handled by the exact same people who made the games.
Granted, that's not always the case, but
Commander,
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Although to be fair, from what we know, TJ Fixman quit the project for a good reason. Apparently, the direction.
Yeah.
We can talk about Ratchet and Clank when we get to that movie. But the point is, unlike the Ratchet and Clank film and the Wing Commander, the creator did not spit in his own creation making this movie. This was a movie that had clearly a lot of love and care put into it. It told a very interesting and engaging story with a lot of heart, a lot of great good humor. And it's just an overall charming movie in general. The soundtrack is phenomenal. My personal favorite of Nishihira's scores. And there you go. Luke tended to the healed wall. There you go. The wolves didn't die.
It turns out that the wolves were being mind controlled because of those metallic tips on their ears that I noticed.
Yeah. And Nina and Emmy brought Nina back to her parents.
Yay!
Because yay.
All right, so yeah, like I said, like the animation, despite the CGI,
hey, Kodak.
one of the sponsors. One of the even if of course our heroing trio went back to our office to celebrate their success, I guess. Anyway, the animation is fantastic, despite the CGI implementation not being the best. It still looks great. The characters look on point. The actual hand-drawn animation is pretty fantastic, if you ask me. Oh, and look at that! Apparently, these two got together.
I'm not
Shame
surprised.
for that guy who had 6 months left to live.
Oh well, Teo, that was the whole point of this.
Wait, Algie was one of the sponsors?
Teo, haven't you learned anything? The message of this movie is that we need to accept that death is a part of life.
Else was arrested.
And the musician got
sorry, for context, Oggi is an Italian gossip magazine. What the hell?
Thank you, Teo, for your country helping make this movie possible.
The more I learn
look at that, Amelia's grandfather did indeed die, but well, just like again continuing on with the theme of this movie, she also has learned that it's just a part of the natural order of things. We all have to accept it at some point.
So what are we doing
Also,
next?
you were saying to
Basically, it seems that the more time passes, I actually learn about weird Italian things sponsor events in other countries.
So what do you know, Tio? One good bout of media was helped out by an Italian gossip company.
I have no idea.
Oh, there you
Are you
go.
sure it's the same logo?
Oh, there you go. See,
Yeah.
Agatha Christie. You still want to tell me she's not Agatha Christie? There you go. She has. There you go. Her novels, and apparently she's decided to console him in the 6 months he has to live. That's nice. And Gorski got his underpants back. That's nice to know.
Ooh.
It was destiny.
I guess. So yeah, like I said, this is to me a really great movie. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's heartwarming and all that stuff. Oh, group shot! Yay!
Yay!
So yeah,
Yay! Yay!
Smile, everyone.
I look forward to the next. Look forward to the next movie.
well, we have an anime Dwibs. That works too.
Well, it's also worth to talk about
Yeah.
that. Hold on, before that, back to the present day.
You know, this could make for a good credit scene in a movie we make, Professor.
Oh no, the professor's not.
So yeah, shortly after they finished reminiscing about this story, Janice came in to visit.
Timing.
Shit.
Well, like Pedro said, we checked all the boxes.
Yep. So yeah, there you go. Well, okay, since Theo brought it up, I guess I will. So yeah, my final thoughts is that it's a great movie, and Hollywood, take notes. This is how you translate adapt a video game franchise into a movie. But anyway,
Indeed, make it part of the video games' continuity.
fine with me. If it's done in this way, in the way that newcomers can enjoy it as well, I see no reason why not to. So yeah, might as well mention since Theo brought it up. This movie was actually not that successful. It only released in 2 countries theatrically. It released in Japan, obviously, and it only made 10 million yen, which is not that much, sadly. And it released in, I think it had a limited release in the UK, if I remember correctly.
I'm gonna check
I
it
think
one
it
time.
is.
So unfortunately, the movie didn't. Unfortunately, since the movie didn't do all that well in Japan, because originally there were plans of having more movies as well. However, because this movie failed to make a profit, those plans kind of went a bit. Yeah. Well, Level 5 still didn't have the financial comfortability that they have today to afford another one. So, all right.
That and sadly, it didn't make as much money as they'd hoped.
Oh well, at least it was a noble failure at the box office because the actual quality of the product itself is great, if you ask me. So I'm at the very least thankful for that.
Anyway, yeah, I can confirm the Italian version only came to home video, but surprisingly enough, there was also for a cinema release. Apparently, one time in Singapore. Don't ask.
All right.
Anyway, final thoughts.
I've just finished mine. Go ahead, Theo, since you're.
Oh, sure, whatever. Yeah, I can agree that this is probably one of the best video game adaptations ever. Like, from what I've been told, apparently, supposedly, because I haven't seen it, the best one supposedly is the Animal Crossing OVA, but I don't know. I reserve some doubts until I see. Yeah,
I didn't
same,
even
same.
know that was a thing.
It's Japan, Shiri. But anyway, when it comes to this, I can agree to that, but I can still say that there are some minor brown spots here and there, like I mentioned, Emmy, for example. And well, overall, Emmy and Groski's integration as well is very meaningful. Like, it feels like they're just there for fan service, which I mean, they're still integrated nicely enough, but it feels like they want the creators wanted to do a bit more with them, which is kind of, I think, the theme of the movie. I think that at least Eno and his team probably wanted for this to be like proper 2 hours instead of slightly more than 90 minutes. But we couldn't, I guess, get everything checked or anything because, again, they did not have that much of a budget to begin with.
Personally, I think Groski's integration is pretty much on point. I mean, he's the comic relief character, and he does do a lot of great comic relief in it.
I agree on that, but I don't think the same should be said about Emmy. Like,
Yeah, no,
especially
I will agree
because
with you on
Yeah,
Emmy,
I
but
can agree with.
yeah,
Like,
I agree with
you
you on
wanna say-
Emmy, not on Groski though. Go ahead.
Not just that, but like I understand that they wanted to set in this prequel trilogy for the sake of having Descole as the main villain, but they kinda at the same time probably didn't know how to integrate well Emmy, so they just had there with that B plot about searching the missing girl and then getting back to the island on her own because she's just awesome, I guess. But regardless of those, and also about that final mistranslation, yeah, it's a thing. I didn't mind too much. I think it just does the same. But like I mentioned, it feels more unnecessary rather than insulting. But still, regardless of that, the movie is enjoyable. The characters are fine, even the voice acting and everything. The CGI may have been a bit, out of place and dated, but I've seen animes with way worse CGI. And I've not, like Pedro said, I've seen worse. So yeah, definitely enjoyable and a part of the integration of the Layton plot. The selfish extra that I will add is that I just wish there was an actual game based on this. Because making it just a movie form makes it I wish I could actually play it it was an actual cross media like we're doing right now. Make the movie based on it, but also the game, which again would work because the movie, like Pedro said, the movie is actually how a game is structured, so it would have been extra easy to do it. But I guess the choice was for actually to show how you can do a Layton story just in movie form.
One of the big things about this movie though is that it was supposed to hold over fans in between games. Because Miracle Mask was taking a bit longer than expected because of the transition from DS to 3DS.
The switch to 3DS, yeah. But, well, anyway, it's also good to know that also the series continued after this, despite, sadly, the bombing of this movie. And now that Layton also has his anime series, which I think, honestly, fits a bit better, the format. Considering the episodic nature and the simple cases, I think a standard anime series may work with an occasional OVA here and there with longer duration. But it shows that the franchise still has a future, so that's good to know. Also more than the games, I mean. But anyway, the movie in itself is fine enough for me. Next.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll go next. It's a fine movie. It's a Layton movie through and through, with both its positives and its shortcomings. And that's it. That's all I've got to say.
Go ahead, Shirai.
Fantastic movie. I show it to anyone who will pay attention. So,
and those who don't.
Have you shown it to Alice?
Yeah, no. You will watch this movie with me, whether you want to or not.
Did she like it?
Huh?
Did she like it?
No, Alice liked the movie, but I show it to a lot of people. So.
That's what I usually do. A lot of times whenever I tell people, well, right now, because of the anime, usually what I say to people is like this: okay, you want to know if you like Layton, watch either the movie or the second episode of the anime. Those are the best trial phases that you can go through.
Yeah. Either one of those two would be great. I love the music, the story, it's still surprising that this actually ties into anything in terms of the games, because it's very all of the prequel stuff is pretty subtle about how it's connected until the later parts of it.
Well, until the after credits scene of Miracle Mask, I'm guessing is what you mean.
Yeah. I do agree with what you all said about Emmy, though, because she is one of my favorites, and she's just kind of not there. I mean, I know why she's not there. Well, I know now why she's not there, but...
Lana Minella is also kind of missed, like I said earlier. I mean, don't get me wrong, Emma Tate is fine. Again, and I also like to mention, for as much as we like to make fun of Lana Minella's Luke voice, speaking as a Layton fan, any Layton fan will tell you that her Luke voice aside, Lana Minella is the female voice actress of the Layton series, because she does so many great female roles. I mean, she does Puzzlette, she does, like I said, Amy.
Even a lot of Layton fans also do like her Luke voice as well, too.
Those are mostly
different strokes for different folks, I guess. I prefer
sure. I've met plenty of Brits, including some guy from Hellfire who prefers Lana Minella's Luke voice.
Those people need to, get a life.
Let's not get into that.
Let's just call it half and half.
All right,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead and
yeah,
finish, Yuri.
But yeah, it was like it's not as bad as the it's not anywhere near as bad as the case with Maya in the Ace Attorney movie. But Emmy's just kind of, she doesn't have, despite any fight scene we've seen with her in this movie, she doesn't really have the same level of personality as she does in the main games, and she kind of suffers for that in the scenes she actually does have in this movie, and that's about.
Go ahead, Joe. Finish us off.
Yeah, this is a dandy good movie. It was a bit of a weird choice to have it take place in the prequel trilogy because of that, sadly, Emmy does not meet her role to the zenith. Now, granted, maybe if they wanted to do it for Groski, that is cool because Groski does get his for sure. But yeah, Emmy is notably kind of the shortcoming of this movie, sadly. This movie overall is essentially a Layton game, just without the gameplay. So
Exactly.
Good on them for that.
Basically, what every video game adaptation should be like, and for some reason, most filmmakers don't get.
Well, the thing is, Layton games already are heavy on story, so that gives it a bit of an advantage.
Well, that's the thing, Joe. But so is Assassin's Creed, and look how that turned out.
Oh, yeah. Well, Assassin's Creed is not exactly story heavy either, Still can vouch for me on, but trust me, that's the least of that movie's problems. But fair points all around. The animation here is definitely good, on point. I don't mind the CGI. Looks fine. Aside from a few plot holes and, of course, some of my usual misgivings with the Layton universe and its hypocrisy involving what's legit and what's not, it's a pretty good plot all around. In hindsight, I guess I now get that fourth puzzle a bit better now.
I'm guessing you appreciate the fact that ever since we introduced the new cast with Kat, the series toned down on that particular no magic stuff.
I mean, look, my only qualm is just they need to admit that magic does exist in some shape or form. Stuff like that is what kind of hurt the crossover. That's my only bit. It's like,
definitely.
I have no problem with the twist being outlandish. It's just they need to acknowledge how outlandish they are. That's all. This movie overall was good. I mean, yeah, again, I do have some misgivings with Melina, but hey, I can just joke about that. Shiroi knows what I'm talking about. As does Pedro. But yeah, this was a good movie overall.
I'm not going to talk about it. Just keep going.
But yeah, this was a good movie overall. It's a good way to introduce newcomers. I can speak for myself. I was a newcomer when Pedro showed me this. It's fun. It's not too long.
Well, most of us were, so...
Yeah, it's fun. It's not too long.
You're welcome, Shirley.
It's fun.
Yes.
All right, then. Pedro, take us... Oh, wait, no, you're...
I already did that. I was the first one, too.
You went first.
That's right. Normally the host is the one who goes last.
All right.
Okay, so, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, that was Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva. I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did. And tune in for, hopefully, when the English dub of the anime comes in, we can also comment on that at some point. We'll see.
Also tune back in for Azran Legacy.
Well, yeah, true, but I'm speaking in terms of movie and TV right now, but sure, if you want to go with that, whatever.
Alright.
The stuff that's easier to access.
Exactly. See you
See-
then.
See us.